Hello.
Morning.
There you go. I've no idea if that worked.
It did work. I can tell that you're going to be like perfect at this all day. Hi, it's
Right,
Paige
okay.
Neo.
That's fine.
Is Paige already in? Already
I,
in.
I can see him on there in the chat, which is
Hi, Paige.
great.
Paige, are you coming to Clash of Kings, Paige? Because Gaddafi's coming, and we need to see you show us how to play Kings of War, buddy. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, he did say he popped in. Didn't say he was staying. So.
That's fair enough. So
We'll
we've got on the left-hand side we've got Richard Miles playing Riftforge Orcs, and on the right-hand side we have got Mark Cunningham playing Trash
Ratkin
Swarm
Slave.
Ratkin Slave. Can we make this the game screen bigger and us smaller, Bob? Because no one wants to see our ugly faces, but they do want to see the game.
I have no idea.
I'm sure there's a way.
Let me just.
No, that's the other one.
Let me just try.
Let's make you bigger.
I'm sure there's a way as well. Oh no.
We're sorry to our one viewer.
Well, that seems to be the way of things with this.
People watch it afterwards sometimes, depending on the quality of match. No, well.
Yeah, no, that's what worries me. Is when they watch it afterwards and sort of go. Let me just have a look.
The probably way to make room camera the focus. There. Except now we're not on screen at all. But that's It's like watching your fifth year geography teacher trying to operate the video player. Sir, press the triangle button to play. No, sir, that's the fast forward button.
Always adds up to fun.
Has that gone back now, is it?
It's back to us all four now.
Yeah, it's all four of us again. Morning,
is that
Jimbo. We've got James Douglas just popped up. And good morning to Peter Swift as well. Sorry for the technical issues this morning. This is something we've not done for ages.
That's them on all screen. So we are currently deploying. So we've got Rich has gone heavy on the left. So it looks like he's gone 2 hordes, and then the center one will be the inspiring orcs, the whatever they're called, Reforged. I can't remember. I only play them. And he's got the shrine behind them. So it's a normal Reforged deployment. And on the left-hand flank, it looks like he's going to go double giant. Whereas Mark has gone very heavily on the right-hand side. What scenario are you playing, Jan?
They're playing Hold the Line. So
yeah.
It's divided into sections in the centre. The very centre's worth
3.
3, and the 2 edges are worth 2.
So it looks as if what they're going to play for is 1 edge each, and then they'll brawl over the centre. So it looks as if Rich is going to go heavily to hold the right-hand side, his right-hand side, the one nearest the screen. And Mark is deploying almost entirely on the other side. So I guess they're both going to be brawling over the centre. Which is the way to play, I guess.
Well, I must admit to be interested. As you said, Mark's got a lot of stuff.
So we've got double giant down the end. Those giants, they're pretty meaty. They're dash.
Oh yes.
Dash 20s, are they? Dash 20 giants. Or 1820.
They're 1820 storm giants.
And they don't have fury or anything like that, so they are waverable. But they both got wind blast, which is going to be annoying for Mark. So Mark's going to have to be really careful because his entire list relies on throwing things into Richard's list and then blowing up to whittle them down. So you see he's layered at the top of the board there. He's layered his regiments. He's got regiment after regiment of slaves. He's layered them, and if he's not careful, he'll get them wind blasted back turn after turn after turn while Richard dominates the middle. That's the only way I think Richard can win.
Yeah, I must admit that does sounds a bit like a Richard tactic as well, having seen him play enough times.
You notice he's put those Orklings down the bottom there. He's just deployed. So if anyone's played Richard or seen Richard play, you'll know that those Orklings tend to win games for him.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Against you, Bob, right?
Yeah, Battle Masters, two regiments of Orkling swarms defeated my entire army.
Loving the beard stroking as well. That's great. Yeah. Maggers has just made the comment that there's strong beards on show.
Right,
it's like, yep.
There is a lot of beard going on. So those Orklings, what they'll allow, because Mark hasn't really got any shooting, and he's putting everything he's got down his right hand side of the table, those Orklings can swan into this right hand hold the line section, allowing the rest of Richard's forces to kind of swing around into the middle, which is where he wants to win.
That's right.
Is that next to the house? Is that his second horde, or is that 2 regiments?
It's 2 regiments. I think it's the 2 regiments from the formation. I think the other horde is on the other side of the house, just in front of the giants, between the giants and the house.
He's really filled the board, and he's strung himself out very thin, which I'm not always a fan of. I'm a fan of layering, but I would say that Rich is a better Rift Forge Orc player than I am. He wins more than me.
He does use them a lot.
You know, Mark hasn't run a flyer all year. This is the first time I've seen him running a flyer.
Dragon,
in his.
I played him. I played him at Bull Run, and he had that.
Did he?
Yeah, he had it at Bull Run because it was a shock to me as well because I've been playing him all year.
Yeah,
and he's not
Maggers.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, he's going to try and jump it behind the giants. I assume that Richard's got Thonar down the end with those giants to keep that flyer honest, because Thonar is one of the few things that can easily take down a flyer on his own if he rolls well. So anyone, welcome to anyone that's joined us late. So we've got Mark Cunningham with Ratkin Slaves on the right, Richard Miles with Riftforge Orcs on the left. I've been really looking forward to this game. I don't know about you two, because I'm not a very good Riftforge Orc player, and Richard is, which is great. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But B, I think along with a couple of other players like Mike Smith, people like that, I think Mark Cunningham saved Ratkin Slaves from the bin single-handedly by showing people how they're such a good army if they're played well. So 2 people who know their army, and also both of these players have played no other army the whole year, right? They have just played these lists.
That's true. Completely dedicated to the list that they're using.
Yeah, I don't know who won that
role. We seem to have lost Bob. Can't have lost him very much because we're still being hosted. So
yeah, that is probably... a problem. We lose the stream.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a pest, that, to say the least. I'm sure he could make me a co-host. Oh. And now I'm on my own. Are you there, Bob? I can see Steve in the background. I can't invite him on. Oh, flip sakes. Help! Sorry, just sat here trying to get some communication going with Bob at home. Apparently the internet's been lost over there. So the stream froze. I don't know if it stayed frozen.
Oh, my back. We're back. I'm back.
Yeah, Bob's back. Awesome.
But we're back to the
3 screens. I don't know why Bob's not in the room. I would have thought he'd be able to put himself back in.
Right. What are we saying? So, I can't remember. Is there any shooting in either of the lists, Jan?
I can pull up the list, to be honest.
I could also put up the list if I wasn't so magnificently lazy. I know Richard hasn't got any shooting. I don't think there's any in the Cunningham list. Let's have a look in the slaves list.
I don't think there is any shooting, from what I remember.
Nope, there's no shooting in either list, so this is going to be a purely melee game. Hi, Bob. Welcome back.
Hello.
You want to switch the views back to
just
the
had to go and kill the neighbour who was using our laptop.
Internet again. Oh, for God's sake. No, you've not gone. It's just the view that's gone. We're not on the big screen. There we go.
So, the only shooting, I tell a lie, wind blast is what he's got. So he's just wind blasting back some rats. You can see him doing it, and it looks as if Mark is losing his characters there. So that's going to be the individual. It's going to be the Overmaster hero that he's pushing back, which is pretty good because he is a defense 6 little hero sod, and he's a right pain. So keeping him out of range at speed 4 is going to be very annoying for Mark because he's not going to get him in for another few turns, right? Yeah, that's true, Grant. Calls it what?
Shrine shoot lightning.
It does, Grant.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep up with all sorts. There's lots of conundrums already going on in the other room. I'm hearing that Rob Hudson's already tried to cheat in turn 1. So.
He's always like that.
He is like that.
It's another dick punch for the box.
Well, I tried to avoid that this morning. He tried to walk in front of the car. I narrowly managed to not hit him.
So Mark's really pushing forward on the top of the screen there. Hopefully, massive tree in the way, but you can see he's got 2 layers of regiments, which means that even with double wind blast, Rich is going to really struggle.
Oops. Well, there goes the tree.
Yeah, there you go. Brilliant. Much better view now. Thank you for that, Mark. But he's staying out of charge range. It looks like he's staying out of charge range of the orcs, but he won't be able to get out of charge range of the giants because giants are speed 7. It's a choice really for Richard whether he wants to just throw the giants into those regiments, which they can easily kill in a couple of rounds, and then take the wounds. But then he loses his massive titans, right? And interestingly, Richard's gone for Slayer on both giants. He's not taken Rampage on anything, so they're only really any good against the dragon, right? I would have taken one of each at least. Go on, Bob. Sorry.
Yeah, quite a few people have done that. If they're running 2 giants, they take one with Slayer, one with Rampage, just to give them that extra bit of versatility, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mark's not put very much on his left flank, has he? Sort of abandoned it.
He's ignored it. He's ignored it entirely, which is what you want to do, really, because his stuff is all so fragile. It's going to die to a stiff fart. So, he wants to try and whittle away one side and punch through and then hold that side, hold the line, as it were. I don't know, Matt. Death Engine Impalers are monsters, so yes, they would be susceptible to Slayer. Where are his Death Engines? Oh, they're in the centre. That's what
they're in the centre where they can flank stuff.
No, they're not chariots. They're monsters, Matt.
No, they are. Yeah, monsters.
They're monster chariot, aren't they? Is what it actually says on the list.
Is it? It just says monster.
No, the Impaler just says monster. Hero monster.
Slave Death Engine Impaler, monster.
Yep.
Chrysler's Gore Impaler is a hero monster.
So it does.
But that just might be the output of this list. Let me look on the actual...
It could just be how the app is, yeah.
But it does specify the base size as being a chariot base size. Because they're on...
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, they are subject to the Slayer rule.
Lots of debating going on.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about...
You've seen how many death engines you can fit in the front of that regiment.
Probably.
Because they've got wild charge, haven't they?
They have. They're horrible.
Oh, excuse me.
Is it worth throwing away a death engine? Because that horde or regiment is going to, it's not going to kill it in one. Because orcs are a little bit tougher than that.
No, he usually doubles up with the death engines, to be honest. And if he does throw one death engine, then the overseer comes in with it. Because that's the double punch that overseer allows. Because he's not brilliant himself in combat, but he's got the 20-inch range, and he's deceptively off to one side, and then all of a sudden you've got a death engine and an overseer in your front of your unit, and that usually settles it because he picks his targets well.
Yep, I think Mark will play a careful game. He doesn't throw stuff away. He wants to wear Richard away over a number of turns. He wants to be getting into combat proper with his proper stuff, turns 3 and 4, having lost a few of his slave regiments. So that's a slave regiment he's pushing forward as bait, hoping that Richard will take it so that he can then come in with the death engines.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit I was probably a little bit cruel giving them all a big open field in the middle for this scenario, but I decided that it'd make them think.
Yeah,
I'm just very glad I'm not playing an elf army. Can you imagine?
And even if Rich does ignore that he can throw that slave regiment in and then burst it with the get out of my way worm rule that Golek Skinflayer has, and still fire something into it after it's damaged.
Looking at it, so if I was Rich, faced with that, don't forget what he wants to do is to get as much stuff as possible into the middle, right, and to get into combat early so he can wipe things out. The flyer is all the way on the right-hand side. He might be tempted to throw away one of his less valuable regiments, taking out that slave in the middle, and then bring everything else round on this turn so that he's got everything ready to kind of pounce. So if the death engines do come in on that one regiment that he sacrificed, that he's then got loads to kind of to follow up with. And he's still got his Orklings wandering happily to secure the table section.
Yeah, those Orklings are only there for that, and that's something that obviously has been missed by Mark. He's not bothered about the other side of the table, but all Rich wants to do is leave those Orklings there and swing everything else into the middle.
Yeah. Well, I think Mark should fairly comfortably win the top section, because I don't think Rich has got enough there. Right, all his stuff is there. It's a scrap in the middle, so it's who can last long enough and who can kind of get that first strike in the most appropriate way. So we'll see. Oh, what's this? Something exciting happening? Has he sent a death engine in at the top there?
Yeah.
So he sent one of them into the horde.
Yeah, that's one of the formation units, isn't it? It's the one that we thought was hiding behind the house. Obviously was.
I think that's okay. So a couple of wounds there, and it's over to Richard. So let's see how he responds.
He's moved his overseer up slightly. His overseer's come slightly towards the middle as well. He must have moved that last thing because it was a bit further out behind that wood, and now it's standing behind the slave regiments.
That would be pretty inspiring, right? Is it rally as well? Rally and inspiring. Oh, we lost the stream briefly. Oh, there we go. So Rich is considering giants into slaves, which is pretty much all he can do at that top, because all of the infantry's out of charge. We saw him measuring that, but the giants aren't. So he's just looking at if he goes into that regiment, can he get flanked by something a little nastier? just checking the measurements.
Ooh.
This is turn 2, the bottom of turn 2. Have we got any overlays or anything like that, Bob, to show which turn it is?
No. You are asking that.
Of course,
good grief.
I'm so sorry. Grief. Can you not steal some off Mike Atkins? That's what we usually do. We usually just steal Mike Atkins' stuff and pretend it's ours.
All right, fair enough. I did have a couple. A long time ago. I don't know whether they're still on here or not. The problem I'm worried about is if I start playing with stuff, is I'm going to lose the stream again.
Are you responsible for this the entire weekend, Bob?
It looks like it now. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be.
Good luck, everyone.
I think you can make me into a joint host, and then I'd be able to host it here, Bob. But we'll figure that out once we've finished the stream.
We'll figure that out when it's all finished. tomorrow evening.
After this one. I don't think everybody needs talking through all the technicalities of trying to stream something.
To be honest, most of the viewers probably know more about it than we do. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Well, Richard's just burning his clock here with some thinking. Oh, how did you do that? That's exciting.
That was me. I went in the banners at the side. Yeah,
that is a great idea there from Matt there. You see, Jan, can you get a piece of paper and just run past the screen like in UFC when they have
in the background
the ring lady walking around, with a big round 2. So what he's done,
I'll go find some paper and get ready for round 3 then, shall I?
So Rich has gone in. So I think he roll wild charge on one of those regiments because they have wild charge from the formation. That might be the inspiring one from the formation at the top there. So he sent in both giants and one regiment into some slaves. That one is, I guess, hindered, which is why it's got a little thing on it. And so I guess the intention is there that he's going to wipe out the slaves and then he'll protect to the flank of his giants with that regiment. So like I said, using a regiment, like I said, for the middle, he's using a regiment to protect his more valuable stuff, which is pretty smart. If you haven't got any chaff, everything is chaff, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Bob's just coming.
Are you playing with the banners now, Bob?
I'm trying to change one. Nothing is happening, so
I'll go back to the comments.
I'm trying to find some paint so I can paint some Gungans while we're talking. And then he's brought up another regiment around the back there. If Rich does manage to break that top section early, this could really be a problem for Mark. It's only turn 2. Don't forget, I think getting into combat this early is what Richard wants, not what Mark wants.
Not what Mark wants. Yeah.
Well,
but one of the things I was. Go on.
It is a combat army, isn't it? So it's like my Brock Riders. If I'm not in combat by the end of turn 2, I'm screwed.
And I think what Richard wants, because one of the Drift Forge is they're not very durable, despite their high nerve, defense 5, and all that kind of stuff. They can't grind very well. So he really wants to punch and then get out. It's just whether he's managed to got in. He's gone much more elite than I ever would, and whether that gives him more of the striking power that he needs to make it successful. Be interesting to see. Okay, yeah, there you go. Nice big turn for the horde. Love those hordes. And then some Orklings are just going to hide. Now, let's see what he's going to do with this regiment. Is he going to go massive attack and then just try and soak up the death engines?
He's toying with the idea, isn't he?
He's thinking about it. Do you know what?
He's given it a bit of thought.
Oh, he's adjusting Mark's models for him.
Yeah. You've done it wrong, Mark. Do it like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just push it back a bit for you. There you go. It's too far forward.
I think probably what happened was Mark meant it to be out of charge of something.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't quite, so he's just adjusted it back and said, sorry, did you intend that to be out of line of sight? Mark's gone, oh, yeah, that's supposed to be out of. He's gone, okay. Which is very, very sporting of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that regiment was supposed to be out of charge. It wasn't, so they pushed it back.
Yeah. Is there a most sporting prize this weekend?
There's a trophy for it, yes.
Excuse my dog.
Oh, you're okay? Sweet.
Because it's so. I mean, I won it last year. It was like a consolation prize for coming last as well, wasn't it?
Oh.
That's quite a negative way to look at it, Bob. Surely it's that you were the nicest player, not that you were the worst player.
No, the most out of his depth player at the Masters 2022.
Wow.
I need new dice this year, I think.
Just new dice? You
Yeah,
seem to have been looking at getting new armies and all sorts.
Well, I've just invested in half a 3D printer, yeah. Oh, he's checking that his lightning can go through that. Go through the gap there and nothing can come back. Has he still got Host Shadow Beast on that thing as well? Because I can't see any of Rich's characters. Or has he just thrown one into the side of that death engine that's engaged with his... Okay, hang on a second.
I want to try and pop that up in the chat. Somebody's just asked if we could put a link to the army lists and stuff.
A link to the army lists and stuff.
In our Facebook
Dropbox,
chat.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Dropbox link. Have you got the Google Sheet up and with everything on? Because we could just copy and paste it in. But the thing is, I've got that on my phone.
No, because I download I download it onto the computer so that I don't stress the internet.
Okay. You're welcome for us trying to commentate over the top of it. It's kind of hard. I was hoping that we'd have an overhead camera for this so that you could see the full score of everything moving. But it is nice just to have some space when the other room's going mental with everybody else playing their games for us to be able to stream a game. I'm trying to find links up for everybody here.
No, I can't get any links up.
Well, I'm going to do it via my phone. It's probably the easiest way.
But in the meantime, there's lots of hand waving going on, pointing at stuff.
Hello, sorry. The police came. Okay. The police came to the door.
They come to take me away.
Sadly, not. There was a burglary yesterday, and we had it on our cameras, and they're trying to find some of the stuff. Anyway,
right.
If Maggers is still watching, I'm adding water to the wet palette that you gave me to try it out for the very first time. I don't know how wet palettes work.
Maggers is still watching.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, that's me.
Nothing worse than hearing your own voice.
Sorry, love. I'm just adding the Dropbox link in that people requested, so should come up any second now as Janice actually into the chat. I'm hoping, if that worked.
Yeah. So how are we doing? What exciting things have happened while I was away? Was he just doing the combat at the top now, is he? Oh, that's interesting. He didn't take the bait in the centre. I'd have taken it. So what he's done there is he's left himself open to that regiment then being used to clog up some of his troops for another turn while the death engines position themselves. But maybe that's what he wants. Like
I love the technical term, clog up.
Clog up. That's what we call it.
Yeah. Obstruct.
oh, there you go. Obstruct. That's a.
It's a big word.
Yes, I slept with a dictionary under my pillow last night.
Hello to No Procrastination Miniatures.
Ah.
There you go. Some damage going on.
More pointing.
I think we'll probably see 1 or 2 regiments at the top dying. Oh, that looks like a giant.
Oh, that looked like a good roll. He's not taking many dice out of that one.
Did he hit on 3s or 4s? They hit on 4s, don't they? Because they're giants.
Yeah. Oh, whatever that was, that hurt.
Yeah. Problem with Mark's army is he doesn't really care if anything dies. That's nerve dice.
No.
Yeah. Oh,
it's a death engine.
Ooh, that's a Thonar. That's why, isn't it?
Right. I wonder
Must
if
that would explain a lot.
It was backed up by the old Host Shadow Beast thing.
That's got to hurt Mark, to be honest, because it's one of the units he actually cares about.
Mind you, he did throw it away, sort of, didn't they?
He did, and I'm kind of confused as to why. I can see in the middle, Rich has actually managed to get a character. It might be the Rift Forger. I can't see into one of Mark's units that he would use to back it up.
I wonder if that's what he did.
I don't want to interrupt the game, but I am so tempted to go in and find out what it is.
Oh, you can do that. I think we're allowed.
I think so too. Back in a second.
All right. So then we've got. So this now he's doing the regiments. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a character? Oh no, that's the wound.
No, that's his wound counters. He's adjusting the dial on it. It's the skull ones from the Shroud of the Reaper. I've got a couple.
I find the numbers a little small. Oh, that's their nerve dice. And then he's rolling for his own damage from the nerve dice. And that's 4, 6, 8, 10. That's going to be. What's going on, John?
Okay, so you've got a horde and the 2 giants in the top, and you've got a tiny little Thonar on his little trundly thing, sat in the middle of a gigantic horde of rats.
Oh, right.
So he sent Thonar into there. It wasn't Thonar. It must have been the Rift Forger that helped kill that Death Engine. That was good rolling. So he's using Thonar as chaff, which I guess he's the fastest thing, so that's why you'd use that, right?
Mm-hmm. Looking like it.
There's some damage going on. Here's the nerve. Has he done it? And again. They're doing some mental arithmetic. Oh, that was a satisfied hand. He has not broken the rats. That's why he's satisfied. In fact, he's wavered them by the look of it.
Yeah.
Because they've not exploded. That's brilliant for him. Exactly what you want, isn't it? To not... Look how happy he is! He's not exploded the rats. He's like that. Take that. Amazing.
Awesome sauce.
So that's not a great start for Mark, but that's exactly what Richard needed. He's actually gained a reasonably dominant position very quickly. Who was it that predicted he would lose, Jan? I'm just saying,
I've got it written somewhere.
It was Jan. I watched it last night.
Did I predict Richard lose?
Oh no, you abstained. You abstained. Actually.
Yeah, I like them both that much. I did think that I'd abstained on this one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's only
because it's actually quite a close one to call. The 2 very, very different army lists, but like I said, they've been playing them the whole year, so they both know the lists inside out. Inside out, they're not list tarts like me and Bob. I can't get the link to the lists to go in. I've tried to do it from my own account, and I can't.
I'll do
it. It won't post a link into the actual chat.
Oh, because of
Yeah, it's the whole YouTubey thing, isn't it? They don't allow. So I don't know what I can do to put the stuff out there. I can try and put it somewhere on the.
Fine. Did that work?
I can't see anything.
I can't see it.
No. Can you put it in the description of the video, Bob, on YouTube?
I don't know. I didn't set the video up.
Jan, if you log into YouTube and go to edit video, you should be able to put them in the description of the video. Right, so we're into Rat's turn 3 now. Sorry, I'm talking. I've got a bad habit of getting a paintbrush in my mouth when I'm blending with another brush. So Rat, they're just measuring, basically, to see how good Rich is at measuring. The death engine's away from his hordes. So if I was Mark, I would just shove that Rat regiment. There you go. Right into the middle of the biggest unit, allowing him to bring up the death engines. It's hindered charge. He doesn't care because he wants that unit to die. He wants his units, many of his units, to die as possible.
Oh, he's going to put Death Engine into the Rift Forger.
Oh, and if he gets it, that'll be a lovely overrun. That would be a lovely overrun into the flank. Yeah, he's measuring the overrun. So it looks like a 3 or a 4. Those chariot bases
if
are
that's
so maneuverable.
Yeah. Oh,
let's see if I remember to do it the right way.
Cavalry.
Does it? No, it doesn't work against cavalry, does it? Cavalry is... Rampage. They got Rampage. I thought it was Slayer. Ah, okay. So if you do it the right way around, I always forget, when you've got this kind of situation, you do the combat against the regiment first, then you do the overrun, so you get a double whammy on the nerve roll, just in case. I always forget.
I don't know whether it is the melee 3 engine that went in. I can't tell with Mark's models because they don't. He doesn't have anything that differentiates it too much. And to be honest, from the resolution on the screen, it's just a brown blob.
Let's pretend. Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah, it is. No, James, there aren't any Twiglet kin at the event because the person that qualified as Twilight kin also qualified with Sylvan Elves and Elves.
That would be Chris Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So he's using Elves today.
Is he? He's not using Sylvan kin?
No.
Pure Elves.
Nobody's using Sylvan kin.
Is James not using them? I thought James...
No, he's using normal Elves because of the cock-up with the Rules Committee ruling on... whatever they're called, Quicksilver Cavalry.
Oh,
yeah, it was Yeah, it was Quicksilver Lancers.
Quicksilver Lancers. They can have them, but there was a bit of confusion over the ruling because they told Jan when she inquired that they can't have them, and then they posted up on Fanatics saying it was always the intention that they would have them. Right. And that they were going to sort it out in the next errata. So, but in the interests of keeping consistent until it comes out in the errata, we're going with the first ruling, which is they can't have them. So James changed from Sylvan Elves to Elves because he wanted Quicksilver Lancers. Apparently, they're pivotal in his army, and without them, his army is suboptimal.
I think that's fair, actually. They are a very, very strong unit. They're like ridiculously strong Quicksilver Lancers.
I know, I faced them last night.
Good job. So the lists are now in the description.
Ooh,
thanks, Jan.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
No worries. I was being quiet because I was concentrating. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought I heard something grinding in the background.
Yeah, I can feel it grinding.
That was from my
We
hips.
had a lot to drink last night.
How unusual for you. Right, so this is going to be, I assume, the Death Engine?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it might be one of the slave regiments at the top. No, it's against Thonar. Okay.
We've got quite a few hits then. If that's a wretch horde.
You've probably got a Bane Chant off on it. And there's a Vicious Aura and all that kind of stuff.
But they haven't killed him.
He is quite unkillable, to be fair.
I know. I think when we played, it was one of the 3 models he had left on the table. And still won, I hasten to add.
Not that you're bitter.
Not that I'm bitter at all. No.
Not at all. No, never.
So I think this. Well, we'll see where he points. Can we ask them to point at the things they're doing so that we know what they're fighting?
I'll go and ask them to point. The thing is, we don't know what they're actually pointing at.
We have a rough idea.
They'll do it until they get excited, and then they'll forget.
Yeah.
I'll go and make
he's took more wounds on Thonart, and there's the nerve check. I thought he'd already done that.
There's two in on Thomar, aren't there? There looks like there's a regiment and a horde. Right. It looks like he's survived it. Oh no!
It's a shame they don't do a specific model for him.
Yeah.
It's like Bracky Barker. I had to order a model off Etsy to make him stand out from the rest of my army. So my Abyssal Dwarfs are now no longer 100% Mantic.
Outrageous. That is some damage onto one of the regiments from a Wretch Horde.
It is. There's the nerve.
They're okay, unsurprisingly.
I'm just going to step out for a second and see how the other room's going on. Make sure there's no more cheating happening.
Yeah. Hudson. What's that? That is some damage on another regiment or onto a giant, I think.
Yeah, I am pointing at stuff.
We're not expecting a great... To be honest, I guess for Mark, the ability to do a little bit of damage is fine, because then next turn they're going to get squashed and explode. The difference is that Richard can now choose who they explode on. So he could choose his most damaged model, I guess, to attack on its own, and everything else could just back up.
That's right.
Something like that. Really, it's a bit of a head scratcher learning how to play against this army, to be honest. Never having had the pleasure.
No, you never played Mark, have you, not?
I have. No, I've never played Mark, actually. I'd love to. I've played Grant, which is much like playing Mark, but less hairy.
Our games usually dissolve into mutual abuse, to be honest.
That sounds...
Which he seems to thrive on.
Here's a nerve check.
Oh.
Something's... Oh, and again.
And again. Oh.
And he's lost a regiment or a horde, is that? Let's have a look.
I don't know, I think he's...
Bringing out the tray. The tray's coming.
He's packing up. He's had enough.
So that must have been the melee 3 death engine. It's killed one of the regiments, so he doesn't need the overrun. That's put Mark in a good position. And now he's facing against the hordes on the left. It's very to and fro. I can't call this.
That's the thing with those death engines. They've got the reach, and they can one. If he's lucky, he can one shot stuff.
With Rampage, yeah.
Yeah. Because normally you get the special character one goes in on its own, especially with that battering ram rule. If it hits chaff, then you can take it out in one go. It goes into the next one. So you suddenly have that thing there, and then the other two team up and double team something, and they usually take it out. I mean, I hit them in the side with a regiment of Brock Riders that had been Bane chanted and still didn't kill them.
Oh, God.
Did I miss very much?
Death Engine killed the regiment in the centre, so he didn't even need the overrun off the character.
Oh.
However, if the character doesn't die, then actually he can use that character to block up the Death Engines. So
have they done that combat yet?
Don't know.
No. They seem to be discussing something else at the moment. Oh, sticks are out.
You're looking. Are you over halfway or not, or something? Are you within the? Are you in the scoring zone? I think turn 3 is a little bit early to be caring about that, personally.
All right. Apparently, they have done the character combat and it's not died.
So actually, he did it the wrong way around. He did the character first.
Mark has a habit of swiping units off the table at the Rumble. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. James's gargoyles.
Yes, yeah.
He was mortified at that, though, I think.
What did he do?
He knocked... James has a beautifully painted 3D printed army, and Mark accidentally knocked one of the gargoyle units off, and they are quite fragile.
Oh. I was at Matt Gorham's event down in Surrey last weekend before last, and one of the tables next to me collapsed.
Oh yeah, Matt was saying that the legs went out on it.
Yeah, I was hearing about it last night.
It was appalling. Army everywhere, models everywhere. Luckily, they were all old metal models.
Did anybody do that? I mean, I have a really bad habit of something like that happens. I have a bad habit of bursting into hysterical laughter.
No, I think everyone was a little bit too kind of. We felt for him, but if it had been my army that had done that, it would have been several. Each model would have been in several pieces rather than just each unit. So we all felt for him very badly, and yeah.
Oh. Oh right, I was just checking something. Jeez, just picked both giants up and went right. They're going.
He's just moving them out of the way, isn't he? Because
he's flyer
is doing the old hop. So he's hopped over the back, and now he can't be seen. Okay.
Until that regiment turns around.
Oh, because it's his go. Right, I see. So what's happened is I didn't realise this had happened in the movement. I missed it. Sorry. Mark had hopped the flyer over the back in a very nasty position. And Richard didn't have anything looking, so all he's able to do now is turn his regiment to face. It's not a great position to be in.
Yeah, especially if it's got the angle on the rear of one of those giants as well. I can't tell from here, but I think the way the beard stroking's going on, it may well have.
I'm not sure. If you see where he's got the arc template on the front, I'm not sure he has.
I'm playing about with this app at the moment, trying to get it working for Masters, because obviously I've done the draw, and now I need to get it all to match up.
Is it not?
No, it's trying to...
It's because apparently
people on different tables to what I've done, so
you have to physically put them into the right table. Yeah. Is Elliot on hand for technical support?
No.
Has it been rejigged to support the
Yes, he managed to do that yesterday, and that's up and running.
Excellent.
But I am now.
There you go. Mantic tech support. Fantastic. Mantic chariots, bastard to put together, as I've just cut myself.
As only you would.
Well, I've got that slave driver chariot. Well, I thought while I'm sitting here watching Mark, I'll put the slave driver chariot together, and it bit me.
So what's Richard? Richard's,
Is he just? It just seems to be stroking his models at the moment, Matt. I think he's just making sure that everything's as it should be. Oh, it's the
so now
proxy.
He's measuring, can he get in?
Yeah.
Can he get into the flank?
Yeah, well, he could do if one of them moved backwards, wouldn't he?
So he's considering which units to charge with.
Yeah, or trying to protect which one's going to...
Well, really, that horde needs to come in as soon as possible. He's only got one death engine left to challenge it. So what Richard's thinking is, can I get that horde across the table as fast as possible? The last thing you want is one of those killer hordes, because they are ridiculous now. He's given them sharpness and whatever. Just sat there doing nothing right on this side of the board. Okay, it's holding a section, but the Aucklands can do that on their own. It's only a death engine. The death engine, no matter how good it is, cannot kill a horde in one go.
No, can it?
And I think with a Bane chant from the shrine, one of the hordes could potentially kill one of the death engines in one go. So I fancy that matchup personally. Really, the centre of the board at the moment looks like it's Richard's.
It does, currently.
He's played this very well.
Going backwards.
Which is what is sensible. It allows him to get the horde in.
Yeah. Oh, and he's just broke one of his orcs off. Apparently they ping off on the heat as well because of the basing material is used. Well, while I was playing them at Battle Masters, a beam of sunlight hit his army and 2 models just jumped off the base.
Really amazing.
Yeah. I think he used something like polyfiller or something on his base, and it expands and contracts in heat. And the feet of the models are that narrow, he can't pin them on. He just glues them on, and then they just ping off for fun.
You can pin them on, lazy sod. I pinned all mine. Not Mark's nervous. There's a lot of nail biting going on.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
He realises he's in a tight spot here. I think he hoped that his last breath attacks at the top would be significantly more effective than they've been.
Yeah, I think the fact that he didn't kill the character in the middle as well means that death engine still is facing the wrong way now.
Yeah.
There is still a regiment of rats holding up that left-hand horde, though, I think, isn't there? The one that the shrine's behind.
But it doesn't really matter.
No, but it's just made this. It just made that Rich has had to think extra about it for his positioning.
Mm. Oh man!
It looks like he's going to lightning bolt that.
Just AFK. We have a moaning child in the background.
Oh, flip six.
What's that?
I'm still struggling with the app.
Oh.
I'm trying to get people onto the right tables, and I'm just not managing it. Right. Let's try it a different way.
What's that? Oh, here we go. It looks like this is the horde against the regiment in the front there. Bucketfuls of dice coming out.
I'm back. What did I miss?
I think they're just doing it. I think he, whatever he attempted against that death engine didn't work unless it was Shadow Beast or something on the character. And now it's the big horde against the regiment of rats in the front there.
Is it the D3? Is it D3 the explosion?
Yeah, it's D3. So that's not really going to phase that big horde that much.
It's not. You need multiples, don't you, really? Here we go. Nerve.
There's the nerve check. Oh.
And they're doing some maths. And there you go.
Off he goes.
It's then gone. And again, that's the D3. That's the damage. 2d3 damage. There you go. A couple of points of damage there.
Now it's 2d3 hits. He's got to roll for the damage. Yeah.
Okay.
He's made the same mistake I keep making.
So that looks like 4 damage.
Looks like 4. Yeah.
Horde laughs that off. This I'm surprised. I really expected the slaves to make more of an impact. I think Richard holding off on that top section, both giants. All Mark really can do is really hope that his dragon can do something a little bit more unpleasant.
Mm.
Both those hordes coming in just looks very... Ooh, just looks nasty.
It's very intimidating, yeah. And the Aucklands have just been standing there scratching the backsides thinking, we're having an easy game this game.
Yeah. No instant death for us.
Well, what was that? So that's Thonar attacking the
Thonar.
The guys at the top there. There's the nerve check.
Has he got him?
If we have Elliot Barrett watching at all, I'd like him to PM me, please.
No, you didn't get it.
No. What looks like a waiver. That's a waiver.
Oh. Is this a giant? Or is it the regiment?
That looks like D6 plus 8, isn't it, for a giant? So
yeah, I don't think it.
There's some nerve.
Oh,
another one. They're gone. Right, now Mark, finally, his plan is going. Here's the damage. Looks like a fair amount. 4 hits and some wounds. Onto the regiment. That's a regiment.
Yeah.
And now the Giants. Did the Giants attack?
I don't know. I don't know whether they attacked or whether they backed off. Like you were saying before, he had the ability to choose who killed the regiment or killed the slaves to take the damage.
Yeah.
So rather than all 3 taking the damage, it looks like he's backed the giants off, which is probably what that template was there for. How far can I back the giants off and still stay out of the charge arc of that flyer that he's put in my back area?
I can still see 175mm base in front, so maybe he backed 1 off. I'm not sure. We'll see in a minute if he rolls for them.
Right, yeah, because there's another one. There's another rat regiment up there as well, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. I think most of the rats. He's got 6 altogether, hasn't he? There was 1 in the middle, and so 5. He's got 5 regiments up there, and only 1 of them has died so far.
Oh.
Here we go. This is Giant number 1.
Oh, apparently we were mentioned on Countercharge podcast.
Was it as those blithering incompetents?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. some of the Cumbrian cow community. Shout out to Dan and Tom and Ian and John up there.
Currently halfway done.
They're all talking about getting their armies ready for going to clash, and then they were obviously mentioned. Oh, apparently it's we were mentioned because they're saying that we're helping you with UK Cock, and they would like you both back for an episode. Oh. Okay.
For which I'm very grateful, by the way. Thank you. Right, so that looked like a giant killed another one. So that's 3 regiments down. And he has run forward to take the rear regiments on. So he's going to be taking damage from them and then trying to kill them. That's exactly what Richard wants, because he's still got that regiment at the back there to hold the table quarter. And really, it's only the centre and this bottom section he cares about if he wants to win the match. But scenario points are important in the excellent scoring system you're using. So if he can win all 3 table sections, that's 7 points, which is a very strong win. So at the minute, it's looking very strong for Riftforge Orcs. Where's Mark's Defense 6 character? That's what I'm interested in.
I'm assuming he was floating around by them by the hordes that were in the woods, because he gives them Strider, doesn't he?
Hmm.
And I think
there's some giggling going on.
Yeah, we can hear.
Not allowed.
Yeah, too much frivolity in that game.
Who was Tom Robinson drawn against first match, by the way?
Tom is currently playing Richard Tomlinson.
Okay. Ogres.
No, Order of the Green Lady.
Yeah, Order of the Green Lady.
Tomlinson's brought this time. There is only 1 ogre army at the Masters. That's Max.
Well, Max table.
No Trident Realms, because
it's
well, it is horrible shootiness.
It's not. He's only got a little bit of shooting. He's got a couple of sergeants, a couple of warlocks, but he's got an allied horde of Drakon riders. It's appalling. If it's the same list that he played against me.
No, it's obviously not, because he had 2 hordes of shooters.
Oh.
3 warlocks.
Okay.
He's got his allies are a half elf Icekin thing and a load on a Chimera from Northern Alliance.
Oh, he does love his allies.
He's not the only one.
Filth. Right, so back to the game. What's Cunningham doing now? So
he's measuring stuff to see what's going to plant that engine in the centre that failed to kill the character. I should imagine he's still got that special character war engine floating about that's facing the back end of all Rich's stuff at the top of the screen.
It's just turned 4
Don't
now,
forget that we're still using withdraw in this, so that death engine can withdraw and disappear. It can't. I don't think it's got the angle for charging on anything. They're not nimble, are they?
No. Can you imagine?
No. Yeah, I do imagine sometimes how nice that would be.
Feverishly on a lonely evening.
Well, it's cold up north.
No, that's what they say. It's cold in Birmingham, let me tell you.
It was really cold down here today, to be honest. Really cold. That cold that Rich Miles had to be picked up by me because he couldn't get his car to work.
Oh. That is unfortunate.
It's a good job he lives locally.
Where does he live?
He's in Nottingham, so it's like 15 minutes from Mantic. So it was very lucky, really.
Yeah, don't let the Essex accent fool you. He lives in Nottingham.
Essex? Oh, he does have a bit of an Essex accent.
Mainly because that's where he's from, I think. Oh, hello to Sean Clark.
Oh, now we've got Sean. Yay!
Yeah.
What's up, Sean?
The 3 best people in Cow.
I'm only on for the first one, though. Yeah. So, hopefully, then you've got quite a packed American panel coming on, haven't you, for the next couple of rounds?
We certainly have.
Yeah,
I've got Mike Adkins and quite a few others.
Love Mike Adkins.
Hopefully, they'll be able to tell us how to do all the technical stuff.
Yeah, Mike, please fix the stream. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, help us.
Oh, king of streaming. So it looks like Mark he's got some difficult choices, but he is really in a tough spot, isn't he? He's still got that horde of wretches in the centre being held up by Thonar. He needs to get rid of Thonar this turn to have a chance. But it is looking very desperate because he's running quite low on punchy units. He sent that death engine into the horde in the middle. That's a desperation move, I would say, because if he doesn't kill it in one, he's going to be flanked by a horde or a horde and a regiment at the same time, which is very not good. Depends how many. He only needed 4 wounds on that horde. These hordes are 22, 24. So he's going to have to...
That's a big ask. That's a big ask. That's a massive spike he needs.
He's going to have to knock it out of the park dice-wise to kill that horde. And then he's still going to take, probably Bane Chanted, a regiment and a horde at the same time on a death engine. That's not...
yes.
I would say that centre is lost unless something spectacular happens.
I mean, Thonar's doing a mighty job of holding all the rats up in the middle there.
Boss. Well, he sent him into quite poor chaff with no crush. And he is a 14-16.
Yeah.
So you can hold a horde like that for a little while. There's some dice. No, it doesn't look like he's managed to knock it quite as far out of the park as he needed to. Were they all vicious? Wow. Oh, those are the hits, maybe.
I think this might be the one against the character.
Who knows? God, he's pointed at 3 things so far. It could be any of them. Have a guess. We've got a mild sweepstake here. Oh,
it's the character in the middle who's finally succumbed to the death engine.
So that was the Rift Forger, I assume.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's done a sterling job, hasn't he?
He's been amazing, yeah. But that was Golek's Skinflayer, I think, on the chariot, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the one that's just bit me. Bastard.
Is that it? He's got Golek's Skinflayer on a chariot.
Oh, he's got an overmaster as well, hasn't he? Slave driver.
He's got a taskmaster on chariot as well. So it's either of those. And there's one with an aura of vicious, and then Golet's got the rally 2. So they're both pretty meaty. And those Rift Forgers are only 10-12s or 11-30, 10-12s, I think. So not surprising. So there is still a little bit of hope for Mark, but he's not turned him, which is unusual. Which way is he facing?
He's facing back he's facing back towards that big horde. Spun him round.
Sensible.
Oh, that didn't do what I wanted.
So he's done a little bit more damage on the horde, but I think Richard.
I think that little wave goodbye there was the.
We can even imagine the interplay there, which was goodbye to your death engine next turn, which is mean. And now over here, thank you for pointing, lads. Was that a rear? No. It's just more slaves. So he did at the top. He did send his flying monster into that regiment. That's interesting. Yeah. I don't. That would be a long, slow slugfest, I think. But there's no. Is there any sparring back there? I'm not sure. Yep. Okay. The regiment's gone. So the last breath did its work. So that regiment has now been taken off.
Yeah.
And so that means Mark has got. That's his last death engine. He the other death engine, isn't it?
That was the Mother Chrysler death engine, the melee 3 one. That's why it's just one-shotted that damage regiment.
That has turned things around a little for Mark, I would say. The top looks a little bit more hopeful.
Yeah.
Because that death engine is now facing the rear of both giants,
Mm.
which is not where you want a death engine.
Especially not that death engine.
Mm. Okay. Thonar, and then he's doing his last regiment of slaves there. You've got maybe 1 or 2 left at the top. Against the giant. Which probably won't kill it. He doesn't want it to kill it. There's a few more damage.
Nerve check.
What do you think, guys, at the minute? Whose game is this? Are we enter into bottom of turn 4 is Richard's go.
I think, to be honest, it's looking, once that death engine's gone down the centre there, there's nothing Mark can really bring over that's going to hold that, that's going to hold it off from just walking up and blocking off the centre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just sheer unit strength, it's Rich's game now.
I totally agree with Bob there, to be honest.
Yep. It's
looking. I've raised my head out of this.
Unless something spectacular happens, it is looking like a Rift Forge victory. All kudos to Richard.
Yeah. And your reward is to pay Tom Robinson a game soon.
I'll be interested to see how he does. So he's been playing the same list all year, but then so has Mark. So.
Mm.
Here we go. Into turn 4 for the Rift Forge Orcs.
Pondering.
How badly shall I blow up your death engine?
Yeah, is it worth doing the flank on that?
Oh, he stopped sniffing you. He's right.
I'm going to blow my nose. I'll be back in a minute.
Remember 2 years ago when we were at Sanctuary and I did the was it 3 years ago at Sanctuary, and it was so cold I was sniffing constantly on the stream. I remember someone complaining about it.
You could see people's breath as they were playing. That was unbelievable. Apparently they've got a new venue.
They have. I've been. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's in a proper like business centre. It's very pleasant. It's got a cafe.
Oh,
lovely. I would recommend it.
What sort of capacity has it got?
Oh, I'd say a good 20, 30 tables at least.
Oh, it's not bad.
It's pretty big.
We've just booked Element Games for December.
Okay, cool. For It's Cold Up North.
Yes, although this year it's going to be combined because it's on the same weekend as Krampusnacht, so it's going to be combined with our Krampus tournament.
Excellent.
That we ran last year. So instead of Cold Up North, it's going to be Krampus Carnage.
Cool. I'll see if I can make him. You never know. I've got nothing booked in the diary after Clash in September. So
yeah, it's first weekend in December. I think it's the 4th and 5th or the 5th and 6th. I can't remember exactly.
I was considering an autumn bull run, but I think probably bull run in the spring, and then Clash of Kings in the.
Yeah, it might. I mean that's because we've got Clash and then BritCon both at the same venue a month apart.
Yeah. So he has taken the flank with that horde, and he's brought his inspiring regiment up behind it.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty much as you'd expect. There's not a lot of movement elsewhere. Everyone else is just sitting there.
Yeah. Well, like you say, that flyer against the regiment, there's not going to be much change for that for a couple of turns, really.
I fancy the flyer, to be honest, just because regiments on their own just aren't very strong, unless it's unless it's the 16-18 one. I don't know.
No, it's the 17-19 one. I'm just looking at the list here.
So they're both 17-19.
All right, it's the ancient winged half-breed.
I meant the regiment. Well, that's the Death Engine gun.
Oh.
Sploosh.
Sploosh. Sploosh.
There we go.
And now he's pivoting round to...
That is looking very strong now in the centre.
Indeed.
And that Death Engine looks to be facing the wrong way in the middle as well.
I hope Mark's got plenty of vodka in that Fanta bottle because he'll need it.
Live by the rat, die by the rat. That's how it works.
Well, I've just started painting my ratkin.
Yay! I'm taking him to Battle of the Shires at Mantic. I would take Gungans, but I'm not brave enough to turn up at Mantic with an entirely Gungan army, so I'm taking rats instead. They're my Mantic army. So yeah, or one of my Mantic armies. So, Thonar's still chopping away.
He is. Is he going to waver them or kill them this time?
Oh,
discussion.
He's looking, are they inspired? They are not inspired. Oh, it's very inspiring. So that is Golek. Here we go.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
And once they're doing I love watching them do mental arithmetic. It's hilarious. Look.
There's that many wounds on there, and you've rolled that much.
I haven't got enough fingers. Are we going again?
Yeah, I'll just take them off then.
I'll do it again.
And there's the last breath.
Oh, no.
That is, a lot. And it's like 4 or 5 damage on Thonar. That is painful. But that is pretty devastating for Mark. That's a huge amount of unit strength gone from the centre. It's looking very strong for the Riftforge Orcs now. Well done to Rich, I've got to say.
Well, pretty much now he's got the centre and this close area here with the Orklings sitting in there.
Yeah. Wonder what Mark could have done differently. I do feel he threw away units early. Like he pushed stuff out.
Yeah, the single charge with the Death Engine against that regiment, not backed up by anything. I mean, I know Thonar hit the horde, but it did cost him, I think. And then when he advanced the rats, there was nothing there. Because I thought, because he moved the flyer sort of more towards the centre, that was going to start backing stuff up.
Yeah. To me, I if you're going to push things forward, you need the backup, don't you, pretty quick. And to stretch across that open centre and just allow Richard to take control has really lost him a lot of that centre. And I think he probably expected to be a little bit more successful on the flank or to have his stuff die quicker on the flank.
Yeah.
He didn't reckon.
I mean, I would have put something on that flank, even if it just sat in that cover.
Yeah.
To threaten, because then
Mag is on the side, just out of the game. Yes, the companion is being updated real time, so currently everybody is in live games.
All right. Are they all entering the scores themselves?
On the app, yes. I'm also taking sheets. I'm doing the whole thing separately. But for those that are wanting to keep track of everybody else as well, yes, the app is live and the draw is on there, so people will be inputting their own games now.
Are there any early results that we know about?
Not yet, although I'm going to go and have a little nudge and make sure that they are actually aware that they can input it on the app.
So
back to the game to you guys anyway.
Yeah. So I think Mark didn't reckon on the fact that orcs aren't very good at killing stuff. So he expected his right flank to melt away and blow stuff up, and then his second wave to come in and finish them off. And they didn't. Yeah. He didn't kill anything, which is what Reforged orcs do. They don't kill anything. So instead, they're just having a slap fest there on the left hand flank, on Richard's left hand flank, far under the table. I finished undercoating my models now. I have to do some proper painting in a minute.
Oh dear.
I know.
Well, I might, in between times, if I'm going to end up here all day, I might reorganise my painting table so I can do some painting later. I'll have to change the bulb in that lamp first. So.
I've got my little lamp. So what's he thinking now? He's looking at what can he get to, what can he hit, what's left in his options. So he's got his defense 6 character and he's got a regiment up there. He's looking at Death Engine, so he's gone into the rear of so the giant didn't kill. Oh, that's been painful. The giant didn't kill. This is turn 5. So giant didn't kill, which means he's got a rear charge from a Death Engine. So one of those giants is going to crumble. So Mark might get 2 points out of this. It's worth playing for. If he can dominate that top, if he can get his dragon to kill the regiment and he can get some of those giants off, then Mark will get 2 points out of this. So it won't be a lot, No. It doesn't look he's killed much of Rich's stuff, to be honest, but...
No, he might get 1 or most 2 points for kills.
Yeah.
So he's looking at 3 points for...
For 4 points, isn't it? Because it's 2 points for the section. So 2 points for the section, 2 points for kills. You get a 4, which isn't catastrophic. And Rich is looking at getting a 5, I'd say 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Which is a good points. But
that's why I like score.
That's why I like this scoring system, because it kind of reflects the to and fro-ness of the battle. Whereby, if there has been a reasonably bloody battle, then you do get a fair amount of points for it. So it looks like Thonar's going to get it. And then he's just moved that character back out of range of the orc so that he can preserve the points, because he knows it would be throwing it away to just throw it into that horde. Go like Skin Flare. Here we go. So this is to kill Thonar, I assume? Yeah. Die! Because if he does do that, then the horde's going to have to go into one of the Last Breath regiments.
Yeah. But that's completely undamaged horde, isn't it?
I wonder whether it's the sharpness one or the elite one.
Sorry, that's my squeaky feet coming back.
Welcome back, squeaky feet.
How's everybody doing on here?
So Mark got a rear charge and the giant at the top with his Death Engine. Or maybe it looks like a flank, actually. But we'll see anyway. But it's going to be a lot of damage anyway. That's a lot of damage. And which means Mark is probably going to get that top table section. So he's going to get a 3 or a 4 at the end of the game, we think. He's just murdering Thonar in the centre.
I don't think he actually killed him, because he just flipped him the double bird.
Oh, no!
Oh, God.
Oh, that is frustrating.
I must admit, there's a lot of frustration going on down here.
Because
now he's trying his best to lose.
He's
doing the dragon at the top.
Yeah, dragon. Here's the nerve.
Yeah.
And again, he's got him. That's it. So he's definitely got that top section. That was well played, I've got to say.
But that's good news for him.
Yeah, and now now he's going to start mopping up. So I think Mark is playing now. He's playing to get maximum points that he can get.
What turn are we on now?
5.
Well, all the other games are still going, so everybody is still full on trying to kill each other in the other room at the moment.
Excellent. What, off table? I really enjoyed this. I wish I was there. I wish I was a better player.
Oh, bless you. You know what? Next year you could come and run it.
Next year, no. I probably will actually, won't I? Let's think about it. Yeah. No, I'm happy to help. I'd quite like to qualify. Quite like it. I don't know. I find Masters very stressful actually because everyone's so serious. They take it quite seriously.
I must admit, it was less serious last night than usual. Last year, nobody was drinking the night before. We only had 2 people go to bed early.
Oh, Giant's gone.
Yeah,
that was a regiment of slaves. Oh, it must have been the character as well. So actually, Mark is cleaning up that section because now he's got the death engine in the rear of that guy. Lovely, lovely work. Or maybe that was a death engine in the rear. Oh, didn't look like enough attacks. Oh, he's overrunning.
He's overrunning.
No, that was the character. It was the character, the 6th character. Strong, that character. So realistically, that dragon is probably maybe facing the wrong direction. Might have been worth doing the giant.
Could have been facing it more towards the centre there.
Yeah. If he'd done the giants first, that's the death engine. Right, so now we're doing death engine in the rear. So actually, he's faced his dragon the wrong way. That's a shame. He could have had more of a chance in turn 6 to do some damage, but at the moment, it's looking like
who's running out of dice?
It's looking like an 8-4 or a 7-3, something like that. Fine, it's got out of 10. So on the scoring system, maximum 10 points keeps it nice and close for the whole tournament. Lots of chat about the scoring system. Bit brave doing a brand new scoring system, Jan.
You've got to do these things once in a while. Shake things up a bit. I kind of thought, at the end of the day, these guys are all very good in the first place. So why not do a little bit of bull shroud at them? Make them think about the scenarios.
I like it. I wrote it.
I've loved it. Although I must admit, I've probably given poor Elliot Barrett enough of a heart attack trying to make him change the whole app to get it in on time. But that's how it goes, isn't it? It's there, it's up, and hopefully it'll be running. And, these guys seem to have got the head around it quite well, pulling it to pieces while sat there debating over drinks last night, I must admit.
Yeah. Everyone's got an opinion.
Oh, they do.
Like a belly button.
Yeah.
Well, you've chosen the polite version. I just nearly
did.
said.
Do you know why I did? I did it because it's 11:12 a.m., my friend. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, of course so it is. Yes. That's why I'm not drinking. I did wonder why.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Here's the nerve. Oh, is this? Oh, there you go. Second giant gone. Right. Yeah. So he has smashed the top section of the board just 1 turn or 2 turns later than he'd hoped. So while
everything's a bit too far away now to.
It has gone to plan. If there's a turn 7, it could be a little bit spicy in the centre. But if I was Richard Miles, I would be backing up. I would be being cautious and careful. I'd be using Thonar to block things up, and just taking the win. Taking the win. Turn 5 for Richard. What's he going to do? Is he going to be cautious, or is he just going to smash face?
Of course, he's going to smash face.
He is an orc player, so there is going to be some face smashing. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
It's going to be face smashing. There's no doubt in my mind. That's exactly.
They're going to go there. There we go. Whoa.
In we go. To be fair, he has got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 unit strength to play with. So it's not exactly a massive risk. You don't have to play the careful game. All he's risking is points, and it's not a.
That's mine. He just said that's mine. There we go.
It's not a kill difference, is it? On this, it's a total kills. So actually, it doesn't matter if you lose stuff. It only matters if you kill stuff. So very cool.
Well, for those that are interested, I've just posted a lot of photos on the Cowmasters committee page of Game 1 in full swing, so you can see what was going on in the other room.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
I forgot to lend you my selfie stick. I was going to lend it to you, and it's still on the back of the settee. My apologies.
So he's just allowing that death engine to charge him. He doesn't care. Doesn't need to, does he? Because the death engine.
Well, that's the damaged horde, isn't it? So if it charges that,
it then gets the inspiring Crush 2 unit to come
in the face.
Yeah, which you don't want. So I think, looking very determined now, this result. To see. It takes a lot of practice learning to play big hordes like that without getting yourself blocked up, to manage charges. And I've got to say, he's got very, very good at this now.
He has. He didn't fall for the nimble troops like somebody else I can think of.
I think there's a few different styles of Riftforged Orcs you can play. Rich has really found an army that works. Unfortunately, it does have counters. This one, flyers in particular, will screw him up a lot. He's only got Thonar and Little Riftforger, but it's a really good fight. You can have lots of very fast orcs. That works well as well. So yeah, good. Nice to see.
Yeah, no chariots or fight wagons.
I've got some fight wagons ready to paint. They're right here. That's the box. And do you know why I've got to paint them? Because Chris Lynch wants to borrow my army for Bull Run, but he says, "Can you paint some chariots in time for it, please?" I'm like, "What? Why?"
How much is he paying you?
He's not paying me anything.
Cheeky sod.
I know, but to be fair, I do want to get some chariots and fight wagons into the army to see if it's any good. So
you do know they're a trap, don't you?
No, they're not. They're great. They're brilliant. Played against Heath Barnes's Riftforged Orcs with fight wagons, and they were very good. I did enjoy them.
Oh, has he got Riftforged Orcs?
Yes.
Oh, right. I had noticed the Skaven thing. The Skaven, his Ratkin army that he's painted up, because I've said to him, me and Heath go way back to the old.
Oh, it wasn't Heath. It wasn't Heath.
Fantasy days.
Yeah. Carry on. Oh, sorry, carry on.
I kept saying to him, "You put that on the table. I'm just going to destroy it." And he went, "Well, bring it on." I said, "No, I mean physically. It's that high. I'm that clumsy. I will just knock your army to bits." He went, "Yeah, fair enough."
It is massive. I have thoughts about that, but it's Simon Tanner that I played. Sorry, Simon Tanner's Riftforged Orcs with the Fight Wagon Legion. Sorry, he was.
Hello, Mr. Fawkes.
All right, John F.
I'll cope with being a gent.
Foxy's going to come and do our commentary at Clash, despite the fact he knows nothing about Kings of War. I mean, he's just going to come and drink with me.
I think he's put his name down for one of the ones this weekend.
He's been international travelling again. He's had a hard life. He's been to California or something.
I saw the disgusting Florida pictures earlier. Yeah, it was like hideous. Imagine having that as an office in the morning. It's like, yeah, foul.
Unfortunately, after listening to the Masters chat for 2 weeks, I have absolutely run out of really small violins. And the field in which I grow my fucks is totally barren now. So there's no sympathy. If you want sympathy, you can find it in the dictionary between shit and syphilis.
Yeah. If you listen to this is my fuckometer. It's empty. So he is. So Mark is. He's banking on a turn 7. There you go. He's backing everything up. So it's out of horde charge range. This is turn 6, isn't it, now for Ratkin? He's banking on turn 7. He's making sure he's outside of the horde's charge range. He's putting his his final regiment in way of that horde. He's giving himself the chance to have a good fight. It is a total shame that he did that flyer combat first at the top, because he's got nothing to look at now. If he'd been facing this way, he'd have been a lot more to play with this turn. But
where's that dude gone? Is he still facing upwards?
It looks like he hasn't moved him yet.
Yeah.
Look at these bloody Orklings at the bottom winning the game. So irritating.
Oh, he's still got something. What's left on that hill? Is that a regiment of rats and the character?
Yeah.
And a death engine.
The Death Engine is up there. Oh no, he's bought the Death Engine.
Oh yeah, it's down by the chariot in the front there. Yeah, spotted it.
This is his.
I think he's just moving unit strength around a bit.
That looks like a regiment to me.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to make sure he's in the right zone, isn't he? Because obviously you've got to be in
to win.
Yep.
Don't think there's any question he's got that top section, which is kind of what we predicted. It was going to be a brawl in the middle. He just didn't manage the combats, the spacing of the combats very well in the centre. I think probably because it was the wild charge on Richard's units meant that he had a 15-inch charge, which outpaces the rats.
Yeah.
So that's what he was having to face. So that was probably difficult to manage.
Yes, Mr. Fawkes, what state is Orlando in? Just a matter of interest. Telling me nope, Orlando.
How's Simon Cooper doing in his game, by the way?
He looked to be doing fine. Obviously, Simon's having to play poor James, who's coming as our spur. So he was being kind to him from what I could see.
Okay.
And as James put it, it's a learning experience for him.
But to be the spare at Masters is not easy.
Tell me about it.
John, my knowledge of geography is as replete as my knowledge of hobby painting and Kings of War.
Well, at least your knowledge of geography is on par with Americans.
So he's brought that flyer up right behind the regiment now. So that's a pretty smart move. Puts him into an advantageous position, can't be touched, so he can choose his targets next turn. Theoretically, Mark might be able to pop that centre horde. He'd have 3 unit strength there. It's way not enough, but he's giving him options for a turn 7 if there is a turn 7, because this is turn 6. On a par with Dan. Which Dan? Dan Barr? Dan King?
Probably Dan King.
I should imagine. Daniel Day-Lewis. Here we go. So this looks like
Lewis sounds interesting.
The regiment on the horde in the centre there. That's a vicious. Golik is still around.
Right.
And there's the nerve. And there are okay.
Oh, it's Thonar.
Oh, is Thonar? No, surely Thonar's dead. Oh, he's not dead yet, is he? That's the problem.
Yeah, now he might be.
Finally.
Oh no, maybe not. Did he just give him the finger again?
Surely not.
Did I miss that?
Surely Thonar is not still alive.
Well, last time Thonar stayed alive, Mark remonstrated with him by flipping the bird at him.
That looked very much like a "I want to strangle you" gesture then. Surely.
I think Thonar's still sitting there going,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Did he double one it? That's the question.
No, I'm sure there would have been flinging arms in the air and cheering and one at that point. I think it's just a crappy nerve roll.
Rich is now saying, "Oh well, I'll just pivot round that." Thump you.
I think they're arguing about whether they're in the section or not.
Oh dear.
Or whether the horde is in the section or not, because it has to be half in, doesn't it?
Majority, yeah.
Majority, yeah. Not entirely. There's some deep discussion here. Well, if you do this and that and the other, yeah, but if I do this and that and the other, and I'll do that.
Yeah, and you can spin round and fuck.
Why are they still arguing about it? This game is decided, guys.
It's the Masters. It's expected.
Who cares? Oh, sorry, I care very deeply. What's happening? Oh, there's some.
I don't know.
You have time on the clock to be wanging on about stuff.
Surprising how much whining manages to happen even while you're doing stuff, though, isn't it?
See, I'm looking at this, right, and I'm thinking he's got a dragon, a death engine, and a chariot guy. That's 1 unit strength each, right? Even if he kills both of those hordes by some miracle, Richard has still got
The regiment and the shrine.
He's still got regiment and a shrine, which is 4 unit strength. So even then, there is literally this discussion. Whatever discussion they're having is totally meaningless. But I very much support them having it. It boils down to kill points at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Mm.
I'm distressed. I've been painting a plastic model, and the bit of the plastic model I was holding to paint the other bit of the plastic model, all the undercoat has come off on my fingers. So cheap plastic models. That's the problem.
That's fun.
I should probably.
Whereas I'm trying to sort out a lunch order. It seems as I'm having to do a Just Eat order.
Okay.
Well, Mantic don't have a regular caterer that comes in, so it's Just Eat on the day, it seems.
Okay.
Well,
I've been trying to sort things for a while.
Speak to Rich Tomlinson, because he seems to be offering quite nice food for that Pride of the Shay, I think.
Yeah. Well, I shall do that for next time then.
Yeah, in advance. I tried to do that for Bull Run, and you saw what happened. There was no food.
Yeah.
So here we go. So he's gone in on the big dragony dude, by the look of it, with the horde.
Right, I'm just going to pop out for a moment.
Yeah, I think their discussion was how far does Thonar need to move so that horde can get in.
It's got you. What did the regiment? Did the regiment die?
I think the regiment was the target of the horde in the first place, and maybe the horde killed one regiment and Thonar finished the other one off. I think
it's still there. I think the regiment is still there between the horde and the flyer. I think.
Right. Not for long.
No. By the look of it, Rich is actually playing. He's kept that regiment.
Yeah, there goes the regiment.
There goes the regiment. So I think he's played a risky game here, because you can see the rulers marking out the sections. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's kept that inspiring regiment in the bottom section, the 2-point section. So if there is a turn 7 and Mark kills both hordes,
and both those hordes go,
he will win. Have they rolled for turn 7? Is there a turn 7? That's that could be a very strategic mistake. I guess not, actually, because then Richard could just move the regiment into the section for turn 7, so it's not as strategic as you'd think.
No.
They're discussing what could I do in turn 7.
I think he's.
Or is there a turn 7?
Whizzing that round to get into
because that's a nimble chariot. Oh, so I guess this is turn 7 then.
And the Death Engine, because that
also in.
Oh, and where's the flyer going to go?
And the flyer goes into the horde in front, along with the little character dude. Oh, that's the other.
That's the other chariot. That's the Taskmaster.
All right.
Or
so he's going to try and take both off on turn 7, but then Richard can just literally walk his regiment forward and still win. Oh, there's 2 chariots. 1, 2, 3, 4 unit strength versus 4 unit strength. It would end up a draw because we forgot there's another chariot involved.
You just have 2 points each because that middle one would be contested.
He's still got Thonar. So he just needs to kill one thing, and then he gets it. Okay.
Oh, it could be. That does change things a bit. I hadn't realised there was another chariot left up the top there. So the rats just sit behind the hill like the Oaklings are doing.
Yep. One section each, and it's a brawl in the middle. I think we'll see. If he kills both hordes, we're on. And Richard needs to do something special. If he doesn't, then forget it. So.
Depends on how much damage that back horde has taken. Because I don't think the front horde's taken any. The one that the winged thing's flown into.
I think it did take some last breath damage. By the look of it. He's got 1 dice behind it, whereas the other horde's got 2 dice behind it, so it's on at least 7.
Yeah.
Here we go. So this is one of the chariots.
Vicious. 4 wounds.
There we go. That'll put them still on 2 dice, so they're still under 12.
Yeah.
I'd say 11 damage. I think they were on 7 before. And this is the Death Engine. Looks like it's the good Death Engine because that looked like 3s. And these are the damage. Crush 1,000,000. So 2, 4, 6, 8 wounds by the look of it. So 8 onto 11. So it's on 19. That's definitely dead. Here we go once and twice. That's the horde. Right then. Now it's getting interesting, isn't it?
And he's gonna use the battering ram.
Can he overrun? Can he use the battering
into the shrine?
Here we go. Here we go. Ah, shame. Oh, shame. He hasn't quite done it. That would have been hilarious if he'd have overrun into the flank of it. Funny. Didn't think of that, did we?
No.
This is why Mark's a Ratkin slave player and we're not.
I mean, it's always going to be a push because them hordes have got a big footprint anyway, so it's almost 4 inches that you need anyway as soon as it's blown up, isn't it?
I think you need a 6 to get into the flank. That would have been a spectacular move, though. I would have been applauding. Here we go. So he's on to 2 dice now. So they're on at least 7. And here comes the rest. Another 6. Okay, we're on 3rd dice. That's going to be dead. Yes!
No, he's something went horribly wrong.
Oh, that's it. That is it then. So end of turn 7. He's held on. I think they've been...
Whatever that was, Mark was not pleased. Either it was a double 1 or just not enough.
I think they think it's turn 6, but it's actually turn... They didn't even roll for turn 7. They really...
So they played 7 turns.
They don't know what turn it is.
So they might even, at the end of this, roll for a turn 8.
They're going to be rolling for a turn 8. Unless we've miscounted, which is entirely possible, but I don't think so. What turn are we on? Guys, you're on turn 7 already. This is turn 7. They don't... Oh my God, bless them. Yeah, look, Mark's just reached turn 8 on his fingers. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they're working,
4, 5.
Working out how
many turns? So I killed that in the first turn. Then what turn are we on? Because they've not turned the turn dice over. Guys, oh bless them. I'll just leave them to it. I can't face it. Oh dear.
Are they going to roll for it?
But didn't Mark go first?
I think so, but I don't know. I've lost the plot.
I think Richard's got another go. Richard's got another... Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's won.
Yeah.
I'm... Okay.
He's finger walking across the table now.
They've confused me now, but I think Mark went first. Anyway, irrelevant at this point because he didn't manage to kill that horde. Close. Quite a bloody game, but it looks like Richard's got it on kill points as well. There aren't many rats left alive.
No, there's 3 quite expensive models, 4 quite expensive models left because there's the 2 characters on chariots. There's the Overmaster. So you're looking at 700 points there.
Yeah.
The War Engine is 210, so that's 800 points.
Heroes left alive as well, so it's another 125. So
yeah,
480. Yeah, it's quite
nearly
a lot
1,000 points.
Yeah.
So he's probably got 2 points on top of the 5, so it'll be a 7. Depends on how much. With that big horde going in that last turn, there will probably be
yeah. It's a 7-3
push
or 7-4,
marks total up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they've remembered that Richard went second, so that's good.
So what's he? Is he slung down the side there and took out taking the chariot, and they're going
Bonard's gone into the chariot. The horde's gone into the dragon. The shrine is gonna. He's thinking about what to do with the shrine. He's just going to move it forwards. Yeah, that's a sensible move. Turn it, and then.
Or are they going to go in and attack?
Yep.
Because they might as well. It's free.
I think it was I'm not sure that was a front. I think that might have been a flank, but I'd have definitely checked that if I was him.
I think they're getting
going on in here because most of the other room now are coming to an end. I'm just getting the first.
They're just coming to an end. They've just realised that they nearly played turn 8.
They also forgot who went first. I think Mark just thought he'd finished, and then they suddenly remembered that actually Richard went second. And because he rolled for a turn 7 and went no turn 7, forgetting they're actually already in turn 7 because they think they're in turn 6. So
yeah, and I think there's the write down on the clock now, but obviously for having played 7 turns, that's why there's a bit of speed rolling going on there, I think.
But Mark didn't manage to break the other horde, so whatever happens, Richard's got this, and he's just seeing what he can finish off. Unless we've miscounted, which is possible because we are obviously also morons.
As we have ably demonstrated on YouTube this morning.
They may have a turn counter in there. It is entirely possible.
They did, but he's got a dice in the top right-hand corner, but he's not turned it over for a number of turns.
Ah, right.
And that's when he got confused at the
avoided
end.
It.
They sat there for about 10 minutes trying to work out what actual turn it was. But here's what it is. This is, according to us, turn 7. I think they think it's turn 6. And he's just.
I may pop my head through and ask what turn they believe they're on.
They're doing speed playing at the moment.
Yeah, I don't really want to get in the way of the game because obviously the clock is going to clock them out regardless.
So I think Richard's now clocked out. Is what's happened.
I think they're playing another turn.
Another turn. This is turn 8, guys. This is not. Oh my goodness, really? Because this might let Mark win the game, which is completely unreasonable. Unless we have miscounted. I'll have to go back and watch. I can't be bothered. Obviously, I won't. But if anyone fancies, if anyone's watching this later, please comment on the video about what actual turn you think it is, because I think they're playing an 8th turn.
Well, so do I.
You hear that? Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they believed they were on 6. So they're going to complete this turn either which way.
Oh no!
Which is nuts, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Rich could lose this now, which is just totally unnecessary.
And then he'll be kicking himself for the when they watch the playback.
I mean, I'll watch the play. I'm tempted to watch the playback to find out what on earth's going on.
Oh, this is. Oh, I can't.
I mean, fortunately, the next commentary team's got Mike Atkins, Mike Rossi, Brinton Williams, and Joey Greek on it. So you've got some proper players that can count and stuff. So it's going to be a lot more competent for game 2. But we were definitely working on the impression. This is why we need overlays on the screen. You see, guys.
Sorry.
It's all right, we'll get it sorted.
I don't know how they work.
He's still rolling. This is, oh my goodness.
This is insane.
It is completely insane. I do feel as TO I want to step in, but
no, but then we might be wrong.
They want to finish off the round.
Yeah. True. He's done it. He's flipped the bird to Thonar again. I think he's failed to kill him.
Failed to kill Thonar for the 15th billion. Well, God knows when it is in a minute.
Well, we can't count, so we wouldn't know.
Oh, excuse me. Oh.
So that horde will go.
Gonna have to put a plaster on this. Damn you, Mantic. Blood loss.
The horde will go, which means that Mark will get the
No!
Yep, it's gone. Which is not right.
This
not
is
right.
terrible.
It's not right. I mean, let's assume they're right and we're wrong. That's what I tend to do in life.
Okay.
Because usually I'm wrong. Usually I'm wrong. But I think this is turn 8, personally.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, and it's just a case of the playing on and on and on.
It's like the '66 World Cup over again, isn't it? They think it's all over. It is now.
That's them. This is the regiment. Here's some dice. Let's do the regiment gone.
No!
Oh, no, guys, no.
This is terrible.
I can't believe I'm watching this.
They're rolling for turn 7. Stop rolling for turn 7. You're in turn 8.
Freaking hell. Show this to your kids.
I mean, it might be wrong.
The importance of learning maths.
I don't know.
Yeah, we could be totally wrong here.
We could. I don't think you are.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. They're in the room.
That's
their
true.
Game.
This is true, and like you say, it is their responsibility to keep track of the turns. Oh, is it frozen?
There we go.
No, there we
go. What do we roll? Well, okay, this is the bottom of turn 8.
Is this not turn 9?
Because at this point, all Richard's got left is Orklings.
The Shrine and the Orklings.
The Shrine, Orklings, and Thonar.
Yeah.
Which is totally unjust.
It is.
In our view of the world.
Completely unjust, I'll be honest, because he had it.
He did have it. He totally had it. There's some wounds. Here's some nerve. And we're going to go... Are they dead? I love it when they try and do maths.
I'm going to have to leave you guys to it because I need to go and start collecting in results and doing bits and pieces.
All right, good luck, Jan. Good luck for the rest of the day. I'm not on again now because it's Chinese New Year tomorrow. So I shall be watching at a later date. Good luck, guys.
Okay.
No worries. Well, catch you later. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Right, so there you go. It looks like Cunningham has taken it on turn possibly 8.
8. Oh dear me.
Well, I just, you know.
Oh dear me.
Are they still playing? Why are you still playing, Mark?
Yeah, there we go.
Into turn 9.
Jesus Christ.
Do they know that the game is 6 turns plus a possible turn 7, not 8 turns plus a possible turn 9?
Not.
Mark
That would explain. This would explain why Mark's at the Masters.
He's a master of tomfoolery.
He just keeps winning games by losing count.
Guys, stop the game. This is madness.
And Richie's just standing there taking it.
I don't understand. I really feel, I don't know. I will go back and watch this at some point to determine how many actual rounds there are, because we could look entirely foolish, which is normal for us.
No, yeah.
We accept that kind of a judgment normally, but the fact that these guys have played possibly up to 9 turns at this point is quite extraordinary.
How have they still got time left on the clocks?
I think Richard hasn't. That's the problem.
All right.
Slave Rat's getting another 8 turns to play. He doesn't need it. He was doing fine. They're just playing on and
we just care.
on. So we just timed out in the end of turn 7, and Mark just carried on playing willy-nilly.
Yeah, the eternal game.
Special Masters rules. We carry on until everything's dead.
Keep playing till you're tabled. Oh, God.
Why are you still rolling dice? Dear, I pray. This is funny. Right. Well, it's been fun, Bob.
Okay. Time is it? 11:45.
Yep. They're still playing this game, the game that never ends. He's taking Thonar off. I mean, sure. Just lose more models, buddy. Doesn't really matter at this point, does it?
No.
He's got a troop of Orklings left. And he's
Oh, no,
oh my God, he's finally finished! Oh, thank God for that. Guys! Could someone go and have a word with him about how many rounds there are in a game of Kings of War?
Oh, God.
Richard had it. He actually had it.
He had it front, back, and sides there. And what were we discussing? 7-4, 7-3.
That was our estimation.
And now it looks like Mark's won. It looks like he's contesting that end thing with the chariot dude against the Orklings. Are they unit strength 1? Yeah.
Yes, they are.
The Orklings. So it's now contested 1, and Mark's on 5, and Rich is possibly only on whatever he's killed.
I think Mark's taken all of them because he's put the death engine into that section as well. I think he's taken a 7. And it's going to be a 10-point victory by the look of that.
Yeah,
which is what it is. It's what it maybe shouldn't be, but hey, who are we to judge?
Well, yeah, they played the game.
All right, buddy. Well, I think that's the end of game 1. They're going to go off and have some lunch, and I'm going to go.
I'm going to go have a lie down.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to rewatch this bit of the stream to find out how many turns they actually played.
Oh my good grief!
Good thing people come to watch these master streams to watch the highest level of play possible, don't they? So that's all. So the play was indeed very good. The counting possibly less so, or maybe it's us. I'd blame us personally. I think we're wrong. But
great advert for Rishi Sunak's new "Everybody should stay doing maths till they're 20" thing, isn't it?
100%. All right, so you need to switch this off to a loading screen to say we'll be back later. Have you got one?
No. Jan's done them as separate. Okay. So I shall.
It's a separate stream for each round. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I shall just play us out.
All right, buddy.